Before Season 3, Los Finales flowed through my blood like cocaine flows through your average citizen of New York City. But now that Season 3 has impacted my previously red eyeballs, I can't get it up anymore. It completely ruined my sex drive. Whenever I look at a pretty woman, the arch-rival skin appears in the corner of my vision and it taunts me.
This is unfortunately a sentiment shared by many finals players. While the Season 3 of the finals has not affected my fervor, it has also made me completely lose interest in playing the game. As a massive fan of Season 1 and 2, starting in the first closed beta, grinding out all of the battle passes and buying multiple cosmetics just because I wanted to support Embark because I saw them doing so well, Season 3 has completely shattered my love and hopes with the biggest backstab I've personally felt in my long time of gaming. So let me delve into why Season 3 of the finals, yada yada, what's in the title. This video essay is split into 4 parts, starting with the good things about Season 3, then tackling the smaller but in no way insignificant issues, then moving to the weapon balancing, and finally, the big budget item, the replacement of ranked with terminal attack. Note, this video is only partially scripted, some segments will be just from my head. I apologize for any longer breaks in dialogue or weird splits. Thank you very much for your patience. There is actually a lot of good stuff in Season 3. You can now buy individual items from the old packs released before Season 2. You can get a free FAMAS skin from your email if you had a link to an Embark account prior to Season 3. The new weapons and specialties are very good in concept, with the exception of the Winch Claw, which is just plain fantastic. I love it. The Trip Mine rework works wonderfully to increase their effectiveness and ability to be counterplayed. Weapons like the 93R and the CL40 got the nerfs they needed for a very long time. The Lewis gun has been modified to fit more in balance with the M60. The Battle Pass is a motherfucking Power Rangers reference. The barrels had their area of effect nerfed, which means the gadgets they mirror are significantly more useful now. The game will now tell you if a cheat you reported has been banned. Finally, there is an inspect animation for carryables where you just spin them around like this. And I mean, have you heard the OST? Well, so now with the good stuff out of the way. Oh my god, it actually got somebody, that's fucked up. So, there's still no way to view the Steam profile of other players. Multiple of the challenges are still entirely non-functional. The game often struggles to render the new profile cards for seemingly no reason whatsoever. You still can't quick change your loadout in practice range without getting to a terminal. None of the new weapons or gadgets function with the practice range dummies. This includes the Winch Claw. The terminal vision doesn't actually bypass invisibility. The Season 3 starter pack can only be purchased with money, unlike Season 1 and Season 2 starter packs. And there's Genshin Impact? Embark, I understand what you're trying to do here, but if you're gonna add a soul shader to a game, make it apply to the clothing, for Christ's sake, this just looks uncanny as fuck.
Wait, huh?
Okay, the Heavy forgets to put his weapons away in this new update, isn't that great? Look, it's just right there. Okay, sure, whatever. Season 3 of the finals, folks. Did you know that the terminal station is actually broken? If you interact with it, it just kinda goes nope. It just doesn't work, the turtle's broken. Turrets will also just give up if you toss a cash box at them, which is kind of funny. Before anyone asks, the cash out tutorial still works normally. I can't fucking say that. The cash out tutorial still works normally. Bingo! Okay. Time to move on to weapon balancing. Let's start with the old weapons. The LH1 has now been made extremely easy to aim. The extremely high fire rate mixed with the 42 damage per shot makes it capable of killing a heavy in under a second. For context, it takes a second and a half to kill a heavy with an M11 if you hit all of your shots. Meanwhile, with the LH1 you can still whiff and it's still gonna be under a second, which is ridiculous. In the final update of Season 2, the throwing daggers got a gigantic buff, increasing their thrown speed, the speed between throws, and the damage all at once, drastically. And this has driven the weapon from being moderately useless to being absolutely overkill, as it can one-shot lights and two-shot heavies. I mean, just look at this dirty ass goddamn game finish, okay? I'll let the clip speak for itself. Look at my brain just fumbling so incredibly hard here trying to get the key. I see the gun roll there for a second and BAM! Annihilated. No chance whatsoever. Okay, let's get a slow-mo on this clip. So I get that guy easy, but then this guy, he's not even in the fucking frame when I hit him. I don't know what's going on. The stun gun just works like a worse version of the goo now. Getting stuck in goo is a constant, and since you can't shoot through it, it's much better at tasing people than the actual taser. I'd personally make it possible to walk through goo, or allow bullets to pass through a layer of it, to make it possible to fight against it and actually incentivize its original intended use. That of blocking doorways, creating choke points, and scaling buildings. One thing that I found during testing is that you can actually dash attack through the goo, but only if it's currently inside you. Okay, now, time to move on to the new stuff. The new weapons, the spear especially, feel unpolished and unfinished. The primary attack of the spear reaches quite a bit further than the model would imply, but it does correctly reach farther on the second and third attack. The secondary attack makes you play a 4-second emote, actually being more accurate if you don't aim at your enemy. And it's scripted to hit only 3 times, no matter how many times the actual weapon hits the opponent. Personally, I'd rather the secondary attack was interruptible and in first person. The dual blades don't actually deflect bullets exactly where you're aiming, having a decently sized bloom when jumping and moving, so make sure you're standing still if you want to use some damage with the deflect. In the background you can see some of the things the dual blades can and can't deflect. The things they can't deflect are explosives, grenades, carryables, meteors, tasers and fire. What they can however deflect are tracking darts, charge and slam, and ranged and melee weapons. Unfortunately, due to the chip damage, they are useless in terminal attack. Okay guys, so now I need to show you this light absolutely fumbling. So first he jumps where he thinks I was, misses the shot, jumps out of the fucking window, decides to pull out his taser, stuns me, but doesn't realize I have the fucking blade, so he just shoots himself. The best part of this update would have to be the winch claw. This specialization allows you to drag in players, distorting their aim, as well as drag in carryables, including the cash box and even the cash out station. It has a lot of tactical and combat applications. Now with all that out of the way, let's move on to terminal attack. All the new players are forced to play this mode instead of the signature cash out. So I was making the graphics for this video in just this goddamn second. They removed the requirement for new players to enter terminal attack, so that's great. Whoa. At the beginning of Season 2, the sonar grenade and tracking darts were taken from medium, limiting the support playstyle. In Season 3, with the removal of the healing beam and defib, medium's only half-assed job in ranked is now to provide the jump pad and zipline, which, as a medium main, obviously irritates me greatly. You mean to tell me my class now has no use in the new ranked mode? What's C4 then? Editing Ember here. Well, apparently getting sick fucking cash outs by sheer fucking luck. Look at that. Perfect. Melee is highly punished with the lower TTK and the removal of healing, both automatically from waiting and from mediums. Another issue with terminal attack I have is just the incredibly long waiting time between matches. Let's let behind the scenes me show you. So the match ends right here. We got some background music, whatnot, yep. And going all the way over, we get back in game only at 1 minute and 7 seconds. And the actual match only starts at after 1 minute and 30 seconds. That's 1 minute and 30 of just staring at a black screen and waiting for the fucking match. One of the core aspects of playing search and destroy modes is clear communication about the location of your opponents. Maps in the finals are not visually distinct enough to enable this. There's also the issue of being able to see players from miles away due to the massive open spaces. Every round currently starts with pepper damage for defenders, which decides the rest of the match. Say, you pick up a sniper or an LH1 and climb the crane during your setup time as defender. You can now disadvantage the enemy team by just harassing them with random pot shots before they even have a chance to reach the objective. The maps are just too big for search and demolition, Terminal Attack feels like it was only made the ranked mode because Embark felt that having a semi-ranked mode in the way of World Tour would make having Cashout stay as the primary ranked mode redundant. Terminal Attack was actually rushed so much that the trailer for it was made before the balance changes were implemented. You can see the light does not interact with the terminal, but it still goes in. Now riddle me this. Why would light, medium and heavy regen to the same health of 100 after taking damage? It should be proportionate to their total health pools, to not give light classes an arbitrary advantage. Right now, if you take enough damage to need to regen, you're already fucked, because after the regen, you still are one shot for most weapons and gadgets, and have no chance of fighting anyone who still is at full health. Unless you have a great teammate like Integral here. Great job if you're hearing this. You know what? I won't take this. I will make this game fun even if it doesn't want to be. So here's my 3-step plan for making the finals fun again, for all of you who crave rewards in games like me. Since we will be playing the new ranked tournament, we are gonna have to be going with meta play. If you can't beat them harder. Here are my 3 loadouts for each class, which I use inside Terminal Attack. For light, we will use either an XP 54 or throwing knives as the core part of our dish, garnishing it with evasive dash or cloak, depending on your taste preference. For dessert, we'll prepare a gateway for vertical mobility on attack and movement between points on defense. With a cup of thermal vision if you're feeling British, or a proper mug of frag and gas grenades if you're a real blood-curdling American. Finally, we'll top everything off with a thermal bore for easy access and denial of terminal hacks. For medium I did what I could, but there's not much to do. We will use a Guardian thread as our specialty, as the dematerializer is too situational. We'll use a FAMAS for our primary, optionally substituting it for a Seal Forte if someone with double knives happens to be giving you trouble. Our filament is the classic frag or gas, explosive mines, topped off with a zipline or jump pad. In case of the worst case scenario, make sure to bring an APS thread in reserve. Or if you're special, how about some dual blades, an APS thread and a glitch trap? Don't you want to bully some lights with me? Heavy will be our most weighty loadout. Equipped with a mesh shield, you can tank hits from all the pepper sprays and threads like a real diva. Mixed with an M60, you can use the massive magazine to your advantage and pre-fire every single corner and every single light in existence and simply slink away easily if you get too overconfident. Alternatively, if you're feeling devilicious, a winch claw mixed with a flamethrower or sledgehammer can let you decimate lone wanderers before they even have time to blink. For both of these we'll use an RPG, frags and a motion sensor. Optionally switching out the frags for an anti-gravity cube, which will allow you to toss the terminal around with ease. Mwah. Delicious. Now get in that mind up mansion and show them what you're made of. Epic montage time. Oh, I got him with fucking... Are you serious? I'm about to be kicked from mission activity. Buddy! How am I supposed to be active? How am I supposed to be active? Why is my UI having a fucking seizure? No, fine, I wanted to prove you are good. I wanted to prove you're good at this montage. Why must you do this to me? Good job, Goblin, I guess. But they're dead! They're dead! How does that fucking work? Did he counter my grapple with his own grapple and it cancelled my grapple? I mean, it makes sense, but I'm still pissed off. Never mind, I fucking love this game. Never mind, I don't. I fucking hate this game.